How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to my podcast. I'm your host, Venita Queen Abrams, where healing is freedom. Welcome to a place where hearts are mended, where truth is spoken and chains are broken. This is your space. This is your time. Let's heal together. Healing is freedom. Let your soul rise high with Venita Queen Abrams right by your side. You'll learn how to fly from pain to purpose. Let your story be told. This is your moment. Break free, be bold. From trauma to triumph, from silence to sound. This is the sacred ground where healing is found through laughter, through tears, through powerful truth. We honor the journey from broken to new. Healing is freedom. Let your soul rise high with Venita Queen Abrams. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to Healing is Freedom podcast. I am your host, Venita Queen Abrams, and today's episode is all about loving you, hurt me. Okay, are you guys ready? I have an awesome guest on today, and I like it when it's man and woman talking because we got different outcomes and everything. But let me introduce the man of the hour, Mr. Hakeem. Okay, I know that name, Hakeem, because my son's last name is Hakeem. So welcome to the Healing is Freedom podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am just going to dive right into this.
Okay.
I am so glad you are here, and we're going to have conversation. The whole objective about this all is talking about how do we heal from anything that's broken.
Okay.
And a lot of times when we go through relationships, we either going to enjoy it for a moment,
a season,
or a lifetime. Yes.
Yes.
But we all know that loving someone doesn't supposed to hurt. Yes. And so that's one reason why I gave the topic, loving you hurt me. Not loving him, you guys. We just speak.
Funny because something about me always gravitated to a certain spirit of woman. Right. So I remember the very first girl I ever liked. And I said, "Oh, we should get married and have a bunch of kids."
And you do got a bunch of kids.
And she looked at me and she was like, "Boy, you crazy." Right. So I got a bunch of kids. She got a bunch of kids. But the thing that attracted me to her, which was her spirit, it was reminded me of my grandmother. And I told her that. Okay. And I found out 7 years ago her and my grandmother were first cousins.
What? Wait a minute.
So when I tell you.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Your first girlfriend was your
grandmama's first cousin. And I told her she reminded me of my grandmother.
You know, y'all scratch that from the
No, don't scratch it.
Oh, okay.
Stop giving these kids your daddy last name and give them their daddy last name. So we can have some indications about who family and who not.
Okay, well, we're going to keep going, all right? Because that sounds like y'all was kissing cousins to me.
We didn't get that. We didn't get that part. She turned me down.
Oh, okay.
In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, somebody. Amen, somebody.
She didn't like me like that.
Well, that's good.
I like that, though.
Yeah, but when you found out she was your cousin, you didn't.
No, I found that out 7 years ago.
Ooh, shut the front door. Thank God. That was some interjections.
Yeah. We sitting at the family reunion.
Oh, my God.
And Uncle Thomas is going through the book, and, he's talking about the Bookers, and he's like, yeah, that's Tucson Booker you sitting next to. You probably know Tucson. And I say, Booker? He said, yeah. He said, didn't y'all live on Bishop? I said, yeah. He said, did you go to Cook School? I said, yeah. He said, oh, yeah, my niece went to Cook School. He said, what year you come out? And I told him, he said, yeah, that's my niece. That's your cousin.
We're going to keep going to the second. Talk about, oh, my God, small world. So we're going to go into relationships. Okay. As you know, this is going to be my first time ever speaking out on my divorce presently, my second divorce. Loving that man hurt me. It hurt the hell out of me. And right now, to this day, good guy. Don't get me wrong, good guy. But he was the hardest man in the world to love. He was not emotionally available or connected. And me, I'm a ball of emotions. That's all I come with emotions. I want to show. I mean, it took a lot of me. I didn't lose me in it, but it took a lot of me to try to pour into an empty cup that was not taken. Every time I poured something, it must have had a hole or a leak in it, and it hurt me to the sense because I did not understand, like, okay, what am I doing? Because love doesn't supposed to hurt. It does. I'm supposed to find solace in love, and I'm supposed to find the beauty of love. I'm supposed to find, you're supposed to be the one I come to when I want to cry, right? But this particular relationship, my last divorce, I could not find my way in. I don't care what I did. And I'm bringing that up because you said how you was raised. If a man is not able to connect emotionally, it leaves a woman in a space of hurt.
Well, that can happen.
Okay.
But for me personally, it didn't happen until I got counseling. Right.
What didn't happen?
Emotional intelligence didn't develop in me until I went to
okay.
Until I got therapy.
Okay.
Right. And so a lot of these things that we talk about in relationships that we're looking for, the emotional intelligence and the consistency and availability and how you communicate and all these different things that we have, I call mostly unspoken expectations. Because a lot of times we don't even tell the person that this is what we're looking for. Right. And if you don't tell a person that and you just believe that that's how everybody should have been raised, then you miss out, because everybody, no matter how good we are as a person, have those skills, those traits, and want to become emotionally available. I know I hear women talk about this a lot, wanting a man that's emotionally available. If you got an emotionally available man, that means you provided a safe place for him to be vulnerable, number one.
I totally disagree, because you can apply or open up the heavens and the gates for a man, because I did. I'm serious. So when we talked about this on the porch the other day regarding relationships and everything, all I kept seeing when you was telling me that a lot of women are not emotionally available, I couldn't wrap my mind around.
Well, it ain't women that's not emotionally available. It's the men that's not emotionally available. But one of the challenges that I hear, because I mentor young men all the time, is that they don't feel like they have a safe place to become emotionally available.
What would it take for a man to feel safe if he have not went to counseling, like you said? If he's been taught that you're not to feel emotions because you're a man, you don't supposed to cry. You the king and this.
Well, they don't teach us that. You just kind of pick that up based on what you see and hear.
I hear you, but if a woman can offer paradise and that man still do not get the help that you mentioned you got to understand a woman so he can be emotionally available, then how can you honestly say a woman got to have a safe space for a man to be emotionally available?
Because that safe space isn't how you respond to him. It's how you talk to them. Most women talk to the bad side of men and not the good side. Most women don't edify a man enough in their conversation, even when they're correcting them or even when they're mad. The tone of voice they use, the demeaning words, how they sometimes take what a man say and he said it in his vulnerable moment and it might be one of his weaknesses, and you think that he's less of a man because he's got this weakness, and now you pouncing on him and making him feel a kind of way because he got this weakness and he thought he was just being vulnerable and sharing it with you, that was something that he confided in you. And too often, I'm not saying you, but a lot of women take that information and they use it against the man, and they make it and they want to belittle him because of those things. And so you only got a couple times to do that before a man just goes right back into his shell.
Right.
And he's not going to say nothing. He's going to go talk to his friend.
So I agree to that. And I've seen women do that. Let me just say, so I'm not being chauvinistic here. I'm talking both ways. I even knew a man in the past where the wife was abusing him. So I get that. It happens both ways, but I'm talking about a situation and scenario where the woman become all in. Don't dog a man out. Because I mean, we in our 50s and 60s, okay? Yeah. All that's for when we were in our 20s and 30s.
I wish you tell your sisters that.
Okay, well, yeah, you were telling me that women my age
act terrible.
I mean, I talk
either
to
we gay, we sassy, we this, we that.
Like, and technically, some of y'all are though.
We're not supposed to. I mean, we are. I mean, what do you expect?
Some of the men are out there.
And most of it's only about 7% of us that's on the DL. But then you got.
I think it's more.
Yeah, but then you got to realize what created that. It was called ADHD. Absent daddy in the home syndrome created that.
Say that.
Absent daddy in the home syndrome.
I don't want my, you know what? I don't want my show to be canceled. We're gonna leave that alone because you know those conversations get you canceled and blackballed and all.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that a disability. Right. I'm just using that acronym saying that the absence of fathers is what created
it. Is. And actually, when you mentioned
that's even if you had a father, if he spent 15 hours a day at work, you still really did have a father.
That's right. Absolutely.
Somebody just paid the bills and allowed you to live in their house and they took care of you. But when it came to actually raising you, the only reason I got the benefit of being raised is because I was raised by grandma. You know, my mom fit that scenario after divorce. I had to go to school and work 2 jobs and do this and that. And thank God I had that sanctified grandmother to pour into me.
That's right.
To give me the connection that I would later on learn how to have with a woman because of the connection I had with her.
And with God.
Because if a man don't have a connection with his parent, either his mother or his grandmother, that's where we learn to communicate with women.
That's right.
And too often we don't have that. We got the television, we got the tablet,
got your boys and your boy telling you,
and your boys. They got no daddy at home either. They didn't learn. Man, don't let her talk to you like that. Right. I'd upset her head if I was you.
I got a question. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening. Finish us.
But one thing I would tell women all the time, and this is just straight from the heart. Most of the things you want to tell that man, he's not gonna receive from you. You're gonna have to get somebody else to tell your story. It's like that with your children. You know, we tell our children everything they need to know, and 10 years later they come back in our face telling us exactly what we told them. Yeah, somebody else then told them, and then we start to feel like less than. But then we don't realize they had a different experience with us than they did with the other person, and that's why they received it. It's the same thing with that man. Find a man that got a network of men that can echo your message.
So now watch this. It's funny.
And women too.
That's true. A community of supporters.
And make sure he got a therapist. Don't be in a relationship with nobody talking about y'all a couple and y'all ain't got a therapist. Somebody got to be the deciding factor when y'all in each other. And somebody got to say, no, you was wrong here. You was wrong there. Now this is what y'all need to do.
A mediator.
And most people don't want that.
Don't want it and go to the therapist and become the therapist's friend and let the therapist tell them. When I tell you I got a story, I'm not going to go into it.
We're going to write some books on that stuff.
You know what? This is the first time I done spoke out about some things pertaining to my my divorce. And the reason why I have not said a lot is because I still love him. He's still a friend of mine, right? But the truth is the truth. Now, he ain't no best friend. No. Because best friends talk and communicate.
If they know how.
Yeah. And if you don't, that means you're still not a best friend because I gotta be.
But you know what mistake you made?
What?
It was only one.
What you mean?
120 watt light bulb. His capacity ain't but 40.
I'm gonna.
So he gave you everything he had. You didn't investigate to find out if he had the capacity to receive you.
My fault. Facts.
That's
And,
all.
and you know what?
We don't find people that are compatible.
That's true.
But then you got to find people that's willing, able, and have the capacity to receive you.
That's right. Ladies, can I get a close up right now? That's a close up moment.
That's a bar.
Wait a minute. Ladies, did you hear? I don't know where I'm looking at.
So you ain't got
ladies,
to you just got to find somebody gonna fit.
We have to do the work. We have to do the work. We have to investigate. We have to say to ourselves, is this someone that can handle who we are? At this age in our lives, we can't keep making mistakes, and we can't keep going in with our emotions. Can't continue to connect ourselves to men. And men, if you're in this situation, we can't keep connecting ourselves to people who we know are not emotionally able. I'm using your words.
Willing, and have the capacity.
To deal.
Because I can be willing and able all day long. I can love you to death. I can love the ground you walk on.
If you're not able.
But you're 120 watts.
Yeah.
And if you turn yourself, I'm a implode.
Mm-hmm.
I can't handle it. The water's gonna make the lights go out.
Wow. That you know what? Okay. Can you share a moment? I hope you all got that. This is healing is freedom. Healing is freedom. And when we make those right decisions before we walk into a decision we call LOVE, it'll save us a lot of
it will
save us a lot of hurt and pain. It'll save us
frustration
and frustration and bitterness and pointing the blame and you didn't do this and you didn't do that. Because real talk, I saw the red flags.
I did too.
Everybody said they saw the red
flags. But the thing that I did see was that on his part, I can honestly say he loved you for real. That wasn't the issue. The issue was when I met him, I said, wow, good guy. But I don't think he can handle the queen. Nothing on his part.
Right.
Not that he didn't want to or wasn't in love. It wasn't him. And a lot of times we'll pick somebody because they love us and they're a good person and they won't mistreat us.
You met their representative. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Because the representative was current for 3 years.
It was.
Oh.
And then seasons changed.
Ooh. Let's go to the second question because I'm not going to speak a lie. I don't want to make this about my divorce. Okay. I want to speak in general because I'm in therapy right now. So I might get emotional, start crying.
All right.
So
that's the healing. Healing starts with therapy.
And you know what? And I am going to say this, if he, she, me, you will heal before we walk into the next journey in our lives.
And become whole.
With self.
And stop trying to be so single independent.
You see what I'm saying?
And be wholesome.
And
full of ourselves and have enough vigor.
In alignment with
give
God.
Us everything that we need.
When we walk into that next season.
And everything they give us is just extra.
Yes.
You ain't walking in deficient. You ain't walking in deficient.
Or depleted.
That's right. You already whole.
You whole.
So now everything they give is extra.
And you know what? My next
season, you don't develop a dependency.
Exactly. Or expectation of.
That's right.
And then love won't hurt.
Because it'll be good.
Self-affliction, and also loving the word of God and understanding that your purpose and your position, and that this next mate is not going to be someone that's going to be half of you or part of or your other heart. It'll just be enhancing the heart that you have already.
Because that's what everybody's looking for.
Yes.
And words are powerful.
Yes.
I tell women all the time, stop saying you want a man to build with. You don't want no build-a-bear man.
You're right.
Because a real man don't need to be built.
That's right. Ooh.
How you gonna follow something that's not put together? That's the position you're supposed to be in. How you gonna submit to that and be following something that ain't all the way put together?
And that goes both ways
too. And then you think once you put it together, it's gonna still want you. The need for the man changed. When a man is really a man, that's when he picks the woman he really wants. When he's fully wholesome in himself, now he'll go find that woman he really wants that he never talked to because he knew he wasn't together. Men are a little different. We know our deficiencies. We'll friend zone that right one forever. until we feel like we got ourselves together. Now we feel like we can go. But that other one that built us up and made us this person and got the business off the ground and made us the six-figure man that we are, and this, that, and the other. And now we get there, and then the one that built them thought she was gonna be loved and appreciated, and now she left because his need for the woman changed. Now I'm a man now. My needs changed. I need somebody on another
level.
This.
You had me when I was a little boy.
That's right.
You coaxed me into a man. Now I gotta go get a woman that see me as a man and not a little boy.
That's right.
Ooh.
That's right. Don't be building them.
Ooh, Lord, y'all, I don't know what y'all thinking right about now, but this right here is getting hot in here.
I tell all the men I mentor.
Wow.
I got one, he want a wife so bad. I say, boy, you don't even need to be talking to a wife until you can handle two $5,000 emergencies twice a year on the regular. Don't mess with that woman. But I know she's great. She's fantastic. She's perfect for you when you become a man. But right now you're a little boy and you're gonna go play with that woman. And
that's how love starts.
And you're not gonna fulfill none of her needs. All your needs gonna get fulfilled. I said, and the worst part, when you do become a man, you ain't even gonna want her no more. Leave that woman alone. Go get you together first. And then come back and entertain that woman because she come with kids.
You know what? And here's the big part about that. It's a twofold, because us women, honestly speaking, we settle. We see that that's not the man we need.
Y'all think y'all supposed to build us?
Not just build us. Not build. We pop in and see where there is a need. We don't want to build you, and that's the truth. We just because when we meet you, we want to meet a king. So when we get the king,
hey, Venita, you special, because that's not the conversation most women are having. They're not looking for the king.
What they looking for?
They want that dude because they want to fulfill their ego versus ego is stronger than they love. Most people that's looking for real love are looking for exactly what you said. Most women ain't looking for real love. They're looking for something to stroke their ego, something to be proud of, something that they can say, my man, my man.
No, that's supposed to be your baby, your child.
I understand.
Right.
That's why I call them son husbands. Because that's what they're raising. And now your son get grown. So now your son is grown, and now you go find a man that was act just like your son. And you continue the same relationship.
Oh, no, baby. That ain't Miss Queen.
No, that ain't.
When I tell you it's my man.
I'm glad you call yourself the queen. That's different.
Yes. Oh, it's gonna be different because my
next daddy, it ain't.
No. Let me tell you something. And I shouldn't say this, but I have to. I don't want no more projects.
I understand.
Pause for a second. I don't want nobody. I don't want no more projects. I don't want to try to build. All I want to do is exist and be that asset and enhance and that's it. And not even multiply because I can have more kids.
I ain't talking about,
so that
they got to be kids.
Financially and
is
money and
building.
I'm 57 years old. I do not want another man in my life that I got to pretend to be mom. I want to be able to be the woman that God has blessed me to be his helpmate. And if he need me, okay? If he need me. And if he don't, I will be in my position, stay with my place, because I don't want love to hurt no more. Honestly speaking, I don't want it to hurt anymore. I want it to heal. I want it to lead. See, love is the biggest, the most used word in the Bible, as I heard.
It is.
Okay. That means that it empowers everything. So love doesn't supposed to hurt, and if it does, it's supposed to give us a lesson out of the hurt, so it can then heal and then protect and show you what it really meant, right?
But then you got to realize too, there's different kinds of love. You know,
okay,
the Bible do talk about that agape love.
Oh, I love that agape love. That's
right. See, the agape love ain't about you or me.
It's just love.
It's about God.
That's right. Yes.
And service to him. And so if you're going to help a man do anything, I think the best thing you can help a man do is serve God.
That's right.
Because a man that don't serve God, what are you helping him do?
First of all, if he don't serve God, I don't want it.
I tell the men all the time, what if her job is to be a helpmate, what's she going to help you do? Oh, she going to help you get off your mama couch. She gonna help.
Well, you almost made me choke on this.
She gonna give you her car while she at work and help you get around. That's the kind of help you looking for. That ain't the kind of help God made us for.
Amen. go back there and wash your dishes and cook your food.
Cook
You
your
can
food?
cook the food, but I'm just saying, we can. Here's the thing in relationships, and I know we gotta get to we even got to the fifth question. We're just gonna roll with this because I believe there's a lot of nuggets on here that we can take as women and men to start healing and start the process of coming into a new relationship, be it friendship as well.
Absolutely.
Friendship, any type of relate.
At least
love,
like me first.
Like me, get to know me. I want a friend next time. I really do. Because a friend is going to get out of his and her own way and try to. If we in relationships, we just say in relationships because there's a lot of different type of relationships out. It's the hims, the hers, of them.
I don't know nothing about that.
I know me either, but I'm just saying out of respect. If we can decide, when we decide to connect with a person in any type of capacity, that we learn first the love language of that person.
Ooh, I'm so glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you said that. I just had this discussion the other day, and I told the guy, I said, her love language is not what you're speaking.
That's right.
You're speaking your love language to her, and hers is different.
Mm-hmm.
Your love language is words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Her love language is touch.
Mm-hmm.
When you gonna touch the woman?
Come on. You know what? So
women want to hear all the good stuff. Yeah, they want to hear how beautiful they are, how nice they hair look, but that's not her language.
And you know what? It can be her love, because my love language is words of affirmation and touch. So they go.
But then there's a correlation too, because one is more dominant than the other.
It's a word of affirmation.
And if you don't really learn how to determine what a person's love language is, whether they know it or not, because most people don't know.
Don't even know. They ain't heard of it before. Yes, sir. That's true.
And if you don't learn what that is and learn what's important to them, then you really can't be. That's why I always tell the guys, look, I always recommend this one book. It's called Anatomy of the Spirit by Dr. Curly Miss. And in this book, what she does is give you the correlation between the chakras, those colors related, the numerology, the emotional dysfunction you're suffering in your life, and shows you the physical healing or the physical breakdown that's going to happen in your body. Cancer ain't just popping up because we eating the wrong food and inject that red dye. It ain't stress. You don't know how to forgive.
But that's stressful if you can't forgive.
You're holding stuff.
That's stressful.
You can't make a decision. Your back gonna forever hurt you.
Yes. Ooh.
You stay in the valley of decision too long. That's why your back hurt. Learn how to make a decision and keep moving. Your back pain will go away. But you spending all your money at the chiropractor.
And all you have to do is forgive.
All you have to do is forgive.
And say, I'm sorry.
Heal. What's the name of your show?
Healing is freedom.
Healing is freedom. We can be free from almost every ailment there is if we just learn to heal and forgive. Move past.
Holding all that inside. Yes. That's why, I told a friend of mine, they say, you still dealing with your ex-husband? I said, yes. Because I love him as a person.
Absolutely.
And you know what I love more about?
And I love that about you.
Oh, I love him as a person.
I love that about you.
And I got his back.
Your healing will come.
Yes, it's
because
coming.
If you couldn't love him as a person, you'd never get healed.
I never get healed.
Your back will be hurting.
Big time.
And you'll be trying to figure out what is
this?
If this is my sciatic, this must be that perimenopause. This must be this. No. We don't know how to forgive.
My ex-husband even asked for forgiveness, and I forgive him. Honest to God. And you know why? He said something that I thought was deep. When we were married, I used to ask him, well, what can we do? Because he never entertained asking me questions. That thing about love language, he found that we took the test, and he goes, well, you got to be by love language. I said, what? How can you be by love language? You got to be able to speak both. I said, no, a love language is I can't change that. That's me. That's who I am. That's my regime.
Everybody want what they are from somebody else.
Right.
And that's not how relationships
work.
Work.
So you got to give and take. It's some give and take. So he didn't want to be in that. And okay, fine. But we had another question. He's like, well, I just want to have fun. I said, well, what's fun? I mean, well, you want to go out, you want to live, and I'm thinking about all these random things. And he just like, I just want to have fun. He never was able to describe what it is. Was. But since we've been divorced, he goes to he does his thing. And it seemed like he's happier now. And I'm happy that he's happier, even if it's without me.
Right.
I feel like he's having fun now.
But that's because you have the capacity to love.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have the capacity to love either. And that's the other challenge. We talk about the capacity to receive it, but everybody don't have the capacity to give it either.
No, I love.
And then you feel like you think the person is an empty vessel. It's like, teach me how to love. Most people don't. I can tell somebody how to love me.
Me too.
You know how I know? Because I learned how to love myself. I ain't always. I didn't always like me.
And you know what?
I grew up feeling like the ugly duckling. Girl, I get more compliments about how handsome I am. I couldn't get a girlfriend growing up.
Wow.
I got a girlfriend, one in grammar school, one in high school, not at the one I went to. I went to Limblum. The most prettiest girls I thought in the whole city. I thought I came up. I didn't get one Limblum girlfriend. To this day, they think I done had everybody. Ain't had one.
Well, you had a lot because you got about 10 kids.
Oh, ain't that's
talking about like real girlfriend.
The real girlfriend.
I got you.
Because I was always the one who was trying to recreate what I saw. I ear trained. I saw grandma and granddad. I wasn't looking for a girlfriend. I thought I wanted a wife at a very young age. But did I know how to be a husband?
Emotionally connected, no.
And emotionally collected, no. If I would tell the truth, I think I was the worst husband ever. Because I didn't put a lot of effort and energy and time into being a husband because I thought all I had to do was pay the bills, maintain a roof over the head, and after that, everything was good. I mean, I take the kids everywhere I go with me, so what else do you want?
And you know what?
No emotional availability, none of that.
You know what? You done made me see something that I
thought I was the man. I thought this what every woman wanted.
Wow.
That ain't what that counselor said. That counselor said, you don't even, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what do you mean? The kids go to a good school. I'm present. I'm not absent like
what more do she want from
What more can you want from me?
What you want from me now, you nagging woman?
I ain't told me no more.
And you know what? You said something that was so powerful. I thought, so this is how love started hurting. I thought, not what we talked about, not our vows that we gave each other when we think.
Expectations.
Not what I've been talking to you about, because to me now I'm nagging you because I'm telling you what my needs are.
Mine didn't nag because she didn't know how to talk. So it was even worse. She suffered in silence. The therapist had to tell me how much trauma I was causing her. I didn't know. I thought she was good.
She ain't saying
it blew my mind. The therapist was like, you traumatizing the way you whip the kids. You traumatizing because you in your walk with God don't celebrate this holiday and all these things are important to her. She didn't know how to communicate those things. So her suffering was in silence. And I thought as long as everything was taken care of financially, we good.
You doing the right thing.
I'm being granddaddy. But then when I go back, now I know why granddaddy was in one room and grandmama was in the other.
Ooh.
I couldn't see that part or didn't understand that part. I understand it now because he wasn't emotionally available. How you going to be emotionally available and be on a job 15 hours a day? And we talk about having healthy relationships.
And you can't.
You can't.
So we're going
and we got all this pressure we putting on Black women. And I put the pressure on y'all too. And some of y'all deserve it, but a lot of y'all some of y'all deserve it.
Drop that nugget right there. Boom, boom, boom.
Some of y'all deserve it, but a lot of y'all, I have to realize, are being asked and tasked to do so much. Like you saw my post the other day. Y'all expected to work a 9 to 5, tend to the children, cook the food, clean the house, tend to the man, and then still have time for yourself. That's impossible.
It's impossible. You know what? I was at my therapist, and she asked me, how did she say that? I'm not going to get emotional. She said, who took care of you emotionally when you was young? And who does that now? And I didn't know what she was talking about.
I do. She was talking about my grandma. When my grandma passed in 1985, when I was in 7th grade, I lost everything because I had no other relationships with anybody else. I was that hard-headed little kid that didn't nobody like because I was all over the place. The rest of my family, everybody has siblings. I'm the only child. My mama at work, 2 jobs, in college, doing all of these things. So I wanted all this extra attention. And so didn't nobody like me but grandma. Grandmama was the only person that could get through to me. Grandma was the only person that could sit down and, as the old folks say, put some fat on my head. And when I lost that, I never regained that. I didn't get that back until probably 1995 when I met the minister.
Well, you know what?
That's when it came back. And that's why I said it's important when you're dealing with relationships. You got to know where that person came from and ask that exact question your therapist asked you. You know, who did you have a connection with growing up and who's that person now? Because most people don't even know that they need. Everybody running around like we doing so good. We are doing
don't realize horrible. We don't even know what we
because
need.
the outcomes that our community is producing, you don't judge by how well our relationship was. We judge by the children. The children is in jail.
So listen, we got about 4 more minutes. I want you to give women and men 3 nuggets to heal from so they won't hurt people when they're in a relationship.
The first one I want to tell men.
And I'm going to end with this poem. I want you to say that.
The first one that I want to tell men is to go get some help.
Yes.
Around your parental alienation syndrome you suffering from. It started with the absence of your daddy. And heaven forbid you walked into a relationship like me and had children and didn't know how to get along with that woman. And now you're suffering the same alienation you received growing up because now you're not good enough to see your child either. That's the first thing I would tell men.
We're going to bring you back on.
That's the first thing I would tell men to heal from because that is something that's never talked about. Find you a group of men that you can confide in, become vulnerable in, that are in the space of health and therapy and counselor. Get you a counselor for almost every avenue of your life. You cannot be an island unto yourself thinking that you're going to have proper relations with anybody if you don't have some help. And ladies, that's the advice I want to give you. Learn how to vet a man that has all of that. See, men, the greatest provision men bring to the relationship is structure. If he's not a part of a structure, how he gonna give you any?
Okay, look. How many more minutes? I mean, you know what? We're gonna have to bring you back on.
Because my thing is if we build the men correctly, then the women are just automatically fall in line. Y'all do it with corporate America.
3 more minutes. Okay.
Corporate America is booming right now. Stock market going through the roof.
Because of black
women. And the saddest part about it, 100,000 of y'all lost y'all job in April. And ain't nobody said a mumbling word about it. 100,000 black women just lost their job. After all y'all put into corporate America.
Okay, we're gonna end right here. Loving you hurt me, but now I'm healing.
Absolutely.
And I want to end with this one. Thank you so very much. You guys, tune into Healing is Freedom. Venita Queen Abrams is my name.
The queen is here.
The queen is here with Mr. Hot
She's
King.
the queen.
So
I wish I could have hit that.
I know. I thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. I hope you guys heard those nuggets. We need how to heal so we won't continue to allow love to hurt us in relationships and deeper hurt ourselves because we got to heal from ourselves. We can't expect someone to love us more than we love ourselves. Oh, amen. Somebody,
that's a bar right there.
We cannot expect. That's why love continues to hurt, because loving somebody wouldn't hurt if we had a deep-rooted love for ourselves and the Lord.
And enough.
And enough,
and
right?
Enough of it.
Enough of it. So I'm going to end with this poem I wrote entitled, Loving You Hurt Me. I loved you louder than I loved myself, gave you my light while I sat in the dark, trying to heal wounds you kept reopening. With every lie wrapped in a kiss, I called it LOVE, when it was really a slow unraveling of my confidence, my peace, of the girl I used to be before I thought your arms were home. You see, you loved me with conditions, but I loved you without boundaries. And somewhere between forgiving your silence and excusing your storms, I forgot my own name. But not anymore. Now I rise from the ash of almost and maybe next time. Now I write poems in the language of my own freedom. Now I know loving you hurted me, but losing you saved me.
That's deep.
That's a piece. Thank you so very much for being a part of Healing is Freedom. Until next week, be good to yourself.
Amen.
Be good to yourself. Love yourself. And if love left, you better leave so you can save yourself.
Yes.
The next week. Thank you again
Thank
for coming.
This was fun.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to my podcast. I'm your host, Venita Queen Abrams, where healing is freedom. Welcome to a place where hearts are mended, where truth is spoken and chains are broken. This is your space. This is your time. Let's heal together. Healing is freedom. Let your soul rise high with Venita Queen Abrams right by your side. You'll learn how to fly from pain to purpose. Let your story be told. This is your moment. Break free, be bold. From trauma to triumph, from silence to sound. This is the sacred ground where healing is found. Through laughter, through tears, through powerful truth, we honor the journey from broken to new. Healing is freedom. Let your soul rise high with Venita Queen Abrams.